Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is my third video. Lots happened since I last made a video to you. Got a few more, a lot more grey hairs. Yeah, I've had a lot of different things going on. My boyfriend, who I spoke about at the time, is now an ex-boyfriend. Cheated, lovely, as they do, yes. And he couldn't handle Nathan, so that was you know, not great when that happened, but that was back in August or September. He went back to his school obviously in September. He was in one class, and like in year 6 he was in the class, and after 2 weeks I get a letter from I got a phone call from the teacher that he had last year stating that he's going to be moving back into her class and he's not going to stay in this original one where he was. I asked why, and they said because I know him and I can handle him a bit better than the teacher in there at the moment. Okay, so I was fine with that because his teacher before was like really lovely last year, so, and I do know she gets him completely. Yes, I know. He's trying to get my attention now. Sorry, just licking his feet. Nice. So he moved into that class, like the new class, and yeah, everything's been fine. Got to a week before Christmas and he had a bad cough and snotty nose and everything else, and it's like, oh, it's normal, you know, he's got a cold, it's colder weather and whatever else. And they said, look, he doesn't stop coughing, you need to come and collect him and take him for a PCR test, which I did, and came back positive for COVID. So that was fantastic. So he was off for that week before Christmas and obviously during Christmas as well. Myself and his twin brother Joshua did a PCR 2 days later. Josh came back negative and I was positive. Great. So we obviously I still couldn't take Nathan out because then I was in isolation, so we were just stuck in 4 walls. You coming over, Nathan? No? Okay, he's going upstairs. And then about 4 days after me, or a week, something like that, Joshua then contracted it, but he didn't have any symptoms, thank God, you know, he was absolutely fine, but come back positive, and it was like, oh great. So the 3 of us had it. Nathan was the worst out of the 3 of us having it, but yeah, so that was 3 weeks off of school. I kept Joshua off as a precaution as well, because obviously I wasn't sure because I hadn't had his results back yet, and we did the test on the Saturday, so I didn't send him in on the Monday, and then thankfully I didn't, because then his test came back positive as well. Yeah, those 3 weeks, we all know how hard the 6 weeks holiday are. You know, 3 weeks is obviously not as long as that, but boy did it feel like it. I mean, you feel like crap yourself, you just don't want to do anything. But you know, it's freezing cold, raining, whatever, yeah. But hey ho, we've got over it, thankfully. The other thing is his seizures have continuously sort of been getting worse. He's having one, you know, it's weird, he can go having like 2 a week, and then sometimes he just has 1 a month, like not for 4 weeks, and it's really hard to pinpoint it. But anyway, on Tuesday next week we're going to a hospital in London to have an EEG done on his brain. How the hell that's going to happen, I do not know. They've told me to give him his melatonin, which he has overnight, So that hopefully will try and get him a bit more sleepy, because I said he doesn't sit still, and he's had this done before, but I'm not sure if any of you are aware of it, but for an EEG brain scan to happen, they have to get, sorry, one second, just putting his program back on. They have to get a tape measure, and they have to put it at the front, like what they use for dresses and stuff, them thin ones, and they have to put it here, and then they have to put it all the way back, and every centimetre, I think it's centimetre, they've sort of put a black marker on it, marker pen, and then they do it from this side to this side, and mark it all again, and then something like that way to this way, and that way to that, something like that. But yeah, that takes about 10-15 minutes, and then they have to put the glue on every single dot, and then push a probe onto it, and then you've got all the wires coming off. There's about 50-60 probes. So knowing that a haircut for Nathan takes like 10 minutes and I have to restrain him for it, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. He had one years ago, but he was sort of sedated, but I rang him up saying, like, I don't know how this is going to work, you know. So I'll come really early, come about 10, and then give him the melatonin before you leave home. Then we've got something to give him. It's like a light sedative or something. So we will wait and see how that goes. But yeah, it's been a lot calmer lately, which has been great. Still got a few bruises here and there, but I'm not sure if it's his new medication that he's taking for his epilepsy. But I mean, I'm not questioning anything about it. I'm just grateful, and he loves school, loves it so much, which is an absolute blessing, obviously. Back to the school side of things. I spoke before about contemplating, or almost being like 99% that I was going to send Nathan to residential school. That has now sort of gone out the window for me as a choice. The reason being is that my local council, which I presume that a lot of people have this facility, you can either have something called direct payments, or you can get carers to either come into your house, or they can come here, like an agency thing, and then they can come here and take him out. So I was completely reluctant to do that. I didn't want that. Did it in the end, much to the persuasion of the social worker, Nathan's social worker, who's lovely. She said, let's just give it a try. So, okay, so I cancelled these direct payments, which you get to use to entertain him, if you like you can use this money. It's not like thousands or anything, but you can use that money to pay for soft play and things like that, places where, but you know, just for Nathan sort of thing, and you have to show them receipts and whatever. So he started with this care agency. I thought, okay, excuse me, I shouldn't do these of a night, of an evening. Sorry, do apologise. It's probably the wine. So he goes out for a couple of hours with these carers, see how he gets on with them, see how they get on with him, and they came back and just went, wow, okay, we can't just be paid for one-on-one with him, we need to be paid for a 2-on-1. I was like, okay, fine, why? And she said, oh my god, he's running everywhere and we can't catch up with him, and it takes 2 of us to change his nappy. And I was like, okay. I said, well, you need to speak to the social worker about that, not me. So they, you know, long story short, they put it up to 8 hours. So they were paying them, no, sorry, they put it up to 16 hours. So they was 2 people for 8 hours a week. So that's how they paid them. So I had 4 hours during school times. I had 4 hours on a Saturday that they took Nathan out, 4 hours on a Sunday. This particular week, it was the 30th of October. I know that because it's my sister's birthday. The manager has had to go a few days before the 30th on an emergency leave regarding a relative or something. So she said these others will be in charge. And I said, okay, that's fine. I hope everything's all right and whatever. So they came and collected Nathan. It was on a Saturday, I think. Anyway, they collected Nathan and they took him out. So it wasn't too bad, weather day. It was, not freezing but not hot either. So we had his tracksuit on, like t-shirt, hoodie, tracksuit bottoms, trainers, whatever. And I gave him his coat, and I said it's obviously mild at the moment, but put it on if he looks like he's getting cold. So you have to do the zip up, otherwise he'll just go like that and just like take it off. So they said, yeah, that's fine, we'll do that. And so off he goes in his wheelchair with them. And I put the 2 nappies in the bag, as I always do. I put snacks in the bag, which consisted of 6 cherry tomatoes, a small, like a what can you call that, sandwich bun thing with tuna and sweet corn in it that he loves, cut in half. And what else was it? Oh, a Milky Bar, like a yoghurt, that Milky Bar dessert thing, and his spoon. So that was in there as snacks for him, because Nathan has to eat every like half an hour just to keep him, I don't know, calm. So that is in the box in his bag as well. Change of clothes is in his bag in case they need it. £10 at the front pocket of his bag, in case for them, not in case, for them to take him somewhere to get lunch. Like whatever. They seem to go to McDonald's all the time, but whatever. So £10 was in there, obviously. Bring me change back and receipt and all that. So they were due to bring it. They collected him at 11:15. So 3:15, they're going to be bringing him back, right? So they keep turning up early, the weeks leading up to this. So I said, please don't get here before 3 o'clock, because I won't be home. I was going out with a friend of mine. So it got to 3 o'clock. I got back here and I thought, right, okay, I'm ready. They're not here yet. Great. 3:30 comes and they're still not here. 3:45 comes, 4 o'clock, 4:15. I'm now going out the head, obviously. I sent a message to this young girl that was looking after Nathan, and I said, is Nathan okay? Because he's got to have emergency, buccal emergency seizure medication. So I'm like, is he all right? Is he had a seizure or something? No, he's fine. This is all on text. So I said, right, where are you? Because you were due to come back here at 3:15. And she said, yes, we're on our way to your house. Okay, great, thank you. So waited again. 4:30 comes, 4:45 comes. So it's now an hour and a half late. Obviously now going out of my mind. Text again. Is everything okay? Yes, we're on our way to Bexleyheath. I said, right, why are you going to Bexleyheath? Oh, we're getting a bus there, and then we're going to get a bus from there to your house. I said, oh, okay. Right, okay, so I'll see you soon. And they were like, yeah, see you soon, won't be long. Great, okay. So I waited for them to get back. They got back at 5:20. I opened the door and obviously I wasn't happy at all. They'd brought another special needs child with them because the rota sort of coincided with it, so they were going to drop Nathan off and then pick this other one up, but they thought they'd pick her up first while they brought Nathan home. Hello. So they walked, and bearing in mind they were all getting buses, there was no car involved, which the manager has a car generally, but they didn't have a car. So he's come along and I can see them holding his coat. So I've opened the door and I was like, "You okay, darling?" You know, gave him a kiss and I was like, "You're 2 hours late. You know, I've been going round." And he said, "Oh, sorry, you know, we went here and then we did that." And then I was like, "Right, okay." And I got his hands and his hands were like blocks of ice. Fair enough, you know, I always say it's like cold hands, warm heart and everything, but this was like really, really cold. And then I put my hand down the back of his hoodie and his body was like a block of ice as well. And I looked at this one that was holding his coat and I was like, "Has he not had that on at all today?" And she just went, "No, he refused to put it on." I was like, "Well, he doesn't speak, so it's up to you to put it on him." "Well, he didn't want it on." I said, "Right," and bearing in mind they're all standing with their, you know, puffer jackets on, hoods up, scarves, gloves, everything, you know, they're nice and warm. I then opened his bag before I got him out of the wheelchair. I opened his bag. There's still 2 nappies in there. So I'm sure I put only 2 in there. So I said, "Oh, when was he last changed?" And she said, you didn't put any wipes in the bag." So I said, "No," I said, I realised that when you'd gone. I said, "You know, hands up, my mistake for that." I said, "But there's £10 in front of the bag, isn't there? So you could have bought some." "Oh, it's not up to us to buy them." "Well, you're not paying for them." I said, "The money was there for anything you needed for Nathan. They're £1. So, you know." Well, there wasn't any, and we didn't go anywhere that had toilets. We went to go to the toilets in the park, but, you know, they were closed. And so I looked at it and I said, "Does that mean he hasn't been changed at all in 6 hours? Are you serious?" And she went, "Well, like I said, we didn't have any wipes." Well, I've got him out of the wheelchair to bring him indoors and he'd soiled himself. And I was so upset. I don't know how I didn't just like break down and cry like that. And I said, "He's had a poo. How long has he been sitting in that wheelchair when you know full well, you know, that he's had a poo?" Because you couldn't be off of it with the stench, do you know what I mean? And she said, "Oh, we don't know." I went, you haven't changed him in 6 hours." I said, "Oh my God." Looked again in his snack box. Nothing's gone out of snacks at all. Nothing. I was like, right, got his water bottle outside of the bag. And I, you know, untrustworthy of me or not, I put a dot on it to see how much had gone. Nothing. He hadn't had a drink either. To say that I was upset is beyond, like, I'm trying to be as calm as I can saying this story to you. I was mortified. So not only have you brought my son back 2 hours late, you've not fed him, you've not given him any water, because he doesn't like juice or fizzy drinks, no, he just drinks water. You've not given him any food, drink, you've not put his coat on, and you haven't changed him. Is that correct? You know, am I wrong? And they're like, "No." Well, he refused the food as well. And I was like, "Is that little girl eating today?" "Yes, she only eats nuggets or fried chicken or whatever they said, fried chicken thing." And I went, "What, so you've actually taken her into a restaurant and fed her?" And they had. So they'd even taken her, or all of them, 3 of them, all went in to this KFC or whatever the hell it was, and they fed her and didn't feed my son. And I bet the adults ate as well, the carers. So at the moment, that has just given me nightmares, I've got to say. You trust people implicitly with your children. You will do anything to protect them. And thankfully he was like as blasé as anything about it. He got in, he wasn't screaming, took his nappy off. My God, his bum, his skin on his bum was like more or less ready to bleed where it was that red. It was absolutely horrendous. And I felt sick to my stomach, that like as if I'd allowed this to happen. Do you know what I mean? It was red raw. Nathan, give Mummy a kiss. Can I sit here? No? Thank you. So that since they've been struck off from my local authority using them now, their company. Rightly so, after my complaint. I feel sorry for the boss, because obviously she had no idea what was going on because she was away at the time. But, you know, I can't help that. I'm not going to let any other child go through that again. It was all for a parent. It was absolutely shocking. And you know what? I've still, to this day, having like flashbacks about it. And I'm dreaming about it. I keep sort of having, I know they're only dreams and they're silly, but it still plays on your mind. Like I'm having things of him being abducted, and like when he's only about 1 in the dream and stuff like that. It's really horrible. It's really affected me. And then I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to send him to residential? I'm never going to see him until like the holidays and stuff. They said you can go and visit, but then like, how much of a disruption will that be for him? You know, I don't know if I could do that to him or for me and Joshua. It just would be really strange and heartbreaking, very hard. I think I said my mum's in a nursing home, and I just can't stand her being in there. You know, not that she's ill treated or nothing, but I just hate it. I hate her being there, but she's not able to return home. So it's another story anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I know I shouldn't tar, you know, every carer or something or agency with the same brush. I don't feel like that about respite when he goes there once a week overnight. But if that has given me that much anxiety in 6 hours of him like being away and being treated like that, how the hell am I going to cope with him being somewhere when I can't even see, or you know, I can't like FaceTime him and stuff like that? It's just not possible. Can't even ring and just have a quick chat, you know, as it going there, enjoying it, and doesn't, you know, like you just saw when he came over, he's not bothered about sitting in front of the camera and chatting. He'll sit and he'll give me a kiss, but he won't sit there. If I was to FaceTime him at a residential thing, he'll just look at it and then just walk off. I know he will be absolutely fine if he went there, but I don't know. It's just really, it's really done me in. Really done me in. And I don't know what decision that I can make now. I'm just completely now opposed to it. It took me like nearly 3 years to get my head around it, that yes, this is what I'm going to have to do. It's not what I want to do, it's what I'm going to have to do for my sake, for Joshua's sake, for Nathan's sake, all of us. And it's just shot to pieces now. I don't know what decision to make. I don't know how. I've got a huge bruise on my leg, on the inside of my leg, which I'll save you from viewing. But where he's just like kicked me when I've been changing him. That was about 4 days ago. That hurt. But he don't mean it, and that hurts as well, because you just can't really tell him off as such, you know. You just can't. Boy, tough. He's just such a adorably gorgeous boy. They both are. I am so blessed. But I've got to put these on, because I might just start Blabbing and blabbing, you know what I mean. Trying to like keep busy and stuff. What are you doing? He's dancing there in the front room. What are you doing? Oh, and his lovely swing hammock thing has come away from the ceiling. And I've got to get now another big hook thing to actually hold the swing, because he's got too heavy now, because he's had it for like nearly 3 years, so it's getting too heavy for it. So I've got to get another bracket thing to put on the ceiling. But he misses that a lot. I know he does. I'll get one next week. Nathan, you can say bye-bye. No, that means he doesn't want to. I will. I won't leave it as long next time. I will do another one soon. A bit of a morbid one again, like the last one was. I'm sorry, but I'm not apologising. Leave any comments, questions, feedback, whatever you'd like, and hope to see you on the next one. Okay, take care. Bye.